Hi everybody, Dr. Brian Prax here at Reversing Neuropathy, and today we're going to be covering the top 10 foods to avoid if you have peripheral neuropathy. Number one, coming in for sure, is going to be sugar and the carbohydrates, the simple carbohydrates that create sugar. Sugar is inflammatory. It's also what causes diabetes and pre-diabetes, the top 1 and 2 conditions that cause peripheral neuropathy. Avoid sugar at all costs. Number 2, coming in right behind that, gluten, which is from wheat, barley, rye, triticale. A lot of us nowadays are highly sensitive, if not allergic to gluten. And guess what? Gluten, all gluten products come along with carbs, which turn into sugar. I would highly recommend avoiding gluten and wheat products that can lead to peripheral neuropathy. Number 3 of the top foods to avoid for your peripheral neuropathy is going to be dairy. As humans, we are supposed to wean from dairy from mama at maybe 3 to 4 years of age at the longest. And then as a result of that, we're generally developing an intolerance toward the sugar in dairy, which is called lactose. Another reason to avoid dairy is because the sugar in dairy. And a lot of dairy includes saturated fats. High amounts of saturated fats can put strain and pressure on your nerves. So that would be the third of the top 10 foods to avoid for peripheral neuropathy. Number 4 of the top 10 foods to avoid for peripheral neuropathy would be artificial sweeteners. Really, what we need to do is we need to go toward foods that aren't artificially sweetened, because artificial sweetened foods and the chemicals that create those have been shown, or at least suggested in the research, to cause nerve damage, among other things, including gut damage, and 70% of your immune system, which we need to heal nerves, is in and around the gut. Artificial sweeteners is the top 4 food to avoid if you have peripheral neuropathy. Coming in at number 5 of the top 10 foods to avoid if you have peripheral neuropathy, or think you have it, maybe burning, tingling, or numbness, alcohol. Now don't shoot the messenger. This is logical, but it's also been backed up by decades of research on how alcohol, and certainly alcohol abuse, in and of itself is a cause of peripheral neuropathy. So how much alcohol is too much? Our government in America says females, 1 alcoholic beverage per day, no more than 7 in a week. Males, 2 or 14 in a week. If you have neuropathy or the symptoms of it, Dr. Brian recommends really no more than, really 0, but I would say no more than 2 to 3 per week, and make it the good stuff, like the red wine, okay? Coming in at number 6, I hate to say it, but based on the research, for some of us, caffeine can be a factor and maybe even a causative event for your peripheral neuropathy. So just be cautious and careful not to do too much. If you know you're sensitive to it, it causes jittery, it can irritate those nerves. I don't really get jitteries, but I still limit myself to 1 beverage. On some days it might be 2 that include alcohol. And those beverages are almost always going to be black coffee with nothing else added to it. I have a video on that, so check that out on the caffeine. All right. Coming in at number 7, maybe it should be number 6, but it doesn't matter. Number 7, fried foods. Come on, what else do I need to say about fried foods? They're loaded with sometimes trans fats, which are bad, sometimes almost always saturated fats, but pretty much everybody knows that these foods are bad for you. What do they cause? They cause inflammation, swelling and inflammation. If we're trying to heal nerves, is not good. So top 7, the 7th food to avoid, fried foods. Get rid of them. Go with good foods, good whole foods. Number 8 of the 10 foods to avoid if you have peripheral neuropathy would be high sodium foods, salty foods. Generally, I have found if you really watch your ingredients and contents of sodium, if we do low amounts of sodium, right, we're basically going to be pushing our shopping carts down the aisles of the grocery store. It's going to be on the outside aisles, right? So that's going to be your good meats, your vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds. Basically, your paleo diet you're going to find on the outside of your grocery stores. So you really, really want to eliminate lots of salty foods. Again, most salty foods are going to be found in cans, boxes, and it's just junk. So let's eliminate those salty foods. Now, coming in at number 9, this might be a surprise to you, maybe, maybe not, but in number 9, we're going to talk about nightshade foods. Did you know that nightshade foods like tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant are actually not vegetables? They're fruits. Anyway, little side thing. But these nightshades can be really causative in our neuropathy. Nightshades, a lot of us are sensitive or allergic to it, so that might be something to look into. I put it at number 9, not towards the top, because it's only going to affect some of us. So you really want to avoid these foods for at least 30 days and then add them back in. As far as the nightshades go, add them back in one at a time and see if your body reacts or responds. If you avoid them and start feeling better, and then you add tomatoes back in and start feeling worse, you may have a nightshade sensitivity or allergy. If that's the case, definitely need to avoid it. And that's a perfect segue into number 10 of the top 10 foods to avoid for your peripheral neuropathy to help your body heal better is any food that you're allergic to or sensitive to. And a lot of you are thinking, well, I'm fine. I don't think I'm sensitive to anything. Well, just like I said, take this list and start eliminating them from the top, number 1, all the way down. It's a 30-day elimination. Eliminate dairy for 30 days and then add it back in. Eliminate wheat for 30 days and then add it back in. Eliminate sugar. I don't recommend adding it back in. But foods that you're allergic to, that you know you're allergic to, get rid of them. To determine if you are allergic to them, stop eating them for 30 days, add it back in, and see how you feel. Well, I really hope that helps. These are the 10 foods that you really need to avoid to help your body reverse its peripheral neuropathy. I hope that helps. Let's together make the impossible possible. Bye for now.